Hello traders, it's another week and I want to welcome you to my channel. My name is Rotimi Olawale and this week we're going to be looking at different currency pairs to trade in order to make profit in the Forex market. Last week was really a blast. We made about 389 pips was generated last week. It was a good one and I hope this week will be a better week for all of us. Now, if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please go ahead and click the subscribe button, smash the notification bell, drop a comment, share this video, so that more people can see it and can benefit from the value we're giving right on this platform. All right, so let's get started. Now, today I have a lot of instruments I want to share with us, which will move in the course of this week. And the first one I want to share with us is the dollar index. That is USDX, and that is what is on the screen at the moment. So there's a dollar index on the daily time frame, and we see that price, is just exactly on a key level. At a point, this was actually a resistance. Then later on, it's turned to a support, and currently is also a support level. Now, there are things we need to note about, this particular structure we're seeing, because on one side, this actually is looking like the possibility of forming a double bottom pattern, which should lead, to a bullish breakout. Normally, because price is resting on this resistance turn support level, technically we should also look, for a bullish breakout. So right from the daily time frame, I actually am bullish biased on this instrument. But then let's go down to the lower time frame to still look at other possibilities around this instrument. So there's a 4-hour time frame, and what I'm saying on the 4-hour time frame is actually a possible inverse head and shoulder pattern, and this is still equally a bullish, pattern. So this still tells us that we are expecting the dollar index to go bullish in the course of this week. So I'm bullish biased on the dollar index, and on the average, I expect the bullish movement at least to reach the most recent high, up there, if the bullish activity really starts, on this instrument. And if that's the case, let's look also at the neckline. Once price is able to break above the neckline for this inverse head and shoulder pattern and RSI clearly above 50, that will signal the beginning of the bullish breakout on this instrument. And if we want to use Fibonacci to check for possible, movement, we can just draw our Fibonacci right there, and we can see that, Fibonacci 23.6 is exactly at the tip here, which is just around the neckline region. So once price breaks out above this level, I think let's just review this. Let me remove this other one here. Fine. So we're expecting price to break out above the neckline and target Fibonacci 38, 50, 61.2, and possibly Fibonacci 78.6. So let's watch how that plays out in the course of the week. Now, this is expected to be a swing trade, so it might span the whole week. And you can actually enter on the lower time frame if that, gives you a faster access to this trade. So I'm bullish biased on the dollar index for this week. So the next instrument I want to look at is gold. And this has a lot of correlation with the dollar index. So gold currently is trading at a resistance level on the monthly time frame. Earlier on in the month of May, I actually gave a bearish forecast on gold when gold hits, this same resistance level, forming a triple top pattern. And I gave a forecast of, a bearish movement. Gold actually dropped for about 1,500 pips before we experienced kind of a retracement in the last month and currently, due to the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas. So currently price is back at the monthly resistance level. Now at the resistance level, we're actually expecting a bearish reversal. So we're looking for a possible bearish reversal on gold in the course of this week. But then we need to go down to lower time frame, to see what the market is saying. Now, this is the daily time frame, and on the daily time frame, there are two things I'm seeing right here. I'm seeing the possible formation of a double top pattern which should also lead to a bearish breakout. Not only that, that's on the big picture. And even currently, I'm seeing a possible double top right here. And I think that should be clearer on the 4-hour time frame. So on the monthly, we have a possible bearish reversal. On daily, we have a possible double top. On 4-hour, it's not really looking so clear for the second double top, but then I can draw a trend line right here and to capture the breakout when it finally happens. So on the monthly, we have a resistance. On the daily, we have a resistance and a possible double top. And on the 4-hour, we have a rising wedge. So if I flip down to 1-hour time frame, I still have my rising wedge still intact. Now we'll wait for price possibly to hit, this resistance, then drop. So I'm waiting for a bearish breakout on gold on the 1-hour time frame. And I can use my Fibonacci also to look at possible, breakout and profit-taking levels on this instrument. Now, I'll be looking for entry around Fibonacci 23.6 and run down, to Fibonacci 78.6. That's if the move is quite strong. Otherwise, at Fibonacci 61.8, there's possibility of, some reversal. So I see price breaking out low from the lower trend line and making entry around Fibonacci 23.6, running down to Fibonacci 61.8. Or if the movement is strong, it might proceed down to 78.6. So I'm bearish biased on gold. And now that the dollar index is looking bullish, gold technically actually should be looking bearish. So that supports a bearish view on gold. The next instrument I want to look at is the AUDUSD. Now, this is AUDUSD on the daily time frame, and we can see, price breaking out of a support level, which later turned to a resistance. In the real sense, this was actually a double top, earlier, and the price broke the neckline, which is now the support level, and price is going back now to retest that old support level now as a resistance. Now, price actually retested that level here, and we had a drop. So price is back, at the old support level, turned resistance on the daily time frame. So technically, we're looking for a bearish movement, on AUDUSD. And if we flip down to 4-hour time frame, this is what I have on the 4-hour time frame, and it's looking actually like a head and shoulder pattern. So it's not complete yet, but that's what I'm saying, which should lead to a bearish breakout. However, even if that doesn't happen, I can always draw a trend line to look at how to capture a bearish breakout on this instrument. We just have to trade what we see. That's what happens in technical analysis. You trade what you see. All right. So I'm drawing the trend line there, and I can flip down to 1-hour time frame to capture price as it breaks out, below this level. So I'm bearish biased also on AUDUSD, and I can use my Fibonacci to look at how we can capture the price movement. So I anticipate price to break out below Fibonacci 23.6 and target Fibonacci 38.2, 50, 61.8, and possibly if the volatility is quite strong, price might progress to Fibonacci 78.6. So that's it on AUDUSD, a bearish bias. The next instrument I want to look at is the AUDJPY. Now, this is the AUDJPY on the weekly time frame, and we can clearly see that price actually closed on a resistance level last Friday. So technically, we're expecting a bearish movement on this instrument this week. So I'm going to flip down to the 4-hour time frame, and this is the 4-hour time frame. And if I put a second line here, you can see we have a valid resistance both on the weekly and on the 4-hour time frame. And with the 4-hour time frame, I'm actually seeing this looking a lot like a possible double top, pattern. If I look at it from another angle, this actually is also looking like a shoulder, a head and shoulder pattern information, which should still lead to a bearish breakout. So in many ways, all I'm expecting is a bearish breakout on this instrument. But then I don't want to go all the way swing. I want to see if I can make entry on the 1 hour time frame. So I'll flip over now to 1 hour. So on the weekly time frame, we have a resistance. On the 4 hour, we have a possible double top and a possible head and shoulder pattern. All right, so on the weekly, we had a resistance on the 4 hour, a possible double top or a head and shoulder, and on 1 hour, we have a rising wedge. And I strongly believe this is going to be a very good trade because from all technical possibilities, this is looking all bearish. This is a top-down analysis we're doing here. So I'll go over to the Fibonacci, and I'll be looking to make entry at Fibonacci 23.6. That's around 98.133, and I expect the trend to run through down to Fibonacci 38.2, Fibonacci 50, and Fibonacci 61.8. And if the volatility is quite strong, it could progress to Fibonacci 78.6. So I'll give you feedback later on how this trade goes. So I'm equally bearish biased on AUDJPY. All right, next we want to look at the DJ30. Now, we've been watching this instrument for quite a while, and I hope this week the breakout will happen. So this is a DJ30 on the weekly time frame, and price actually closed last week on a very strong resistance level. Price has hit this multiple times, retracing in the process, and last Friday, price closed on that level. And if we flip down to the 1 hour time frame, we discover that we have a rising wedge. So we have a weekly resistance and a rising wedge on the 1 hour time frame. Now the 1 hour time frame price is actually very close to the weekly, resistance level. So what I see possibly happening is price might hit this resistance before dropping. But either ways, I'm expecting a bearish breakout on this instrument. And I can use my Fibonacci also to look at possible profit-taking level. And that can be in the range of, with entry on Fibonacci 23.6, which is around 35307.54. Price is expected to progress to Fibonacci 38.2, Fibonacci 50, and Fibonacci 61.8. And, with more volatility, it could push down to Fibonacci 78.6. So I'm bearish biased on DJ30. Next instrument I want to look at is the GBPCHF. Now, this instrument has been trending downwards for a while, then we had some minor retracements, and now we equally have again a bearish pattern on this instrument. Now we have a descending trend line, and price hit the 3rd time here, dropping, and a 4th time. Now, currently, price is trying to break above it in the real sense of it, but then we equally have a triple top pattern for this whole zone. So technically, I still expect a bearish, continuation on this instrument. That's on the daily time frame. And if I flip down to the 4 hour, then you can see the triple top pattern is still very strong. So I expect a drop on this instrument in the course of this week. So I'm bearish biased on GBPCHF. And I can still draw a trend line around this, to capture a possible movement on this. And I can equally use my Fibonacci to check, for profit levels on this. And in that instance, I'll be looking at entry around, Fibonacci 23.6 here, take profit on Fibonacci 38.2, Fibonacci 50, 60, and down to 61.8. Now, this is going to be a swing trade, so it will require some patience, but then I am bearish bias on GBPCHF. Now, please note the essence of this analysis is to give us idea of trends on all these instruments for the week. If you have your own personal trading strategy, you can use that, for entry. And if you want to follow the way I've shown, you can just go ahead and trade with that. So next, I'm looking at a EURUSD, and this is EURUSD on the daily time frame, and price closed last Friday on this resistance level. So we have a valid resistance level on the daily time frame, and if I flip over to 4-hour time frame, I equally have a valid head and shoulder pattern. So I'm expecting a bearish movement on this instrument in the course of this week. And the neckline is just right here. So whenever price breaks out below the neckline, that should be my entry point for a sell. And traditionally using take profit level from head and shoulder pattern, from the neckline up to that height is 117 pips. So let's just say 120 pips. So if I come down, that's another 120, at just around this level here. So I'll be targeting that as the take profit level. But then if I still want to use my Fibonacci, I can still draw it up here this way. And my profit level will be in between, Fibonacci 50 and Fibonacci 61.8, or better still if it pushes downwards to this level. But either ways, I am bearish biased on EURUSD. Next instrument I want to look at is the BTCUSD. Now, on monthly time frame, BTCUSD has actually been making, some bullish movement, and currently it's around a monthly support turned resistance level. We have a monthly support turned resistance. So technically, we should see a bearish movement. Even if it's a retracement, there should be some bearish movement on the BTC, on Bitcoin. So going down to the daily time frame, we can clearly see that BTC is ranging on the daily time frame. Price has been ranging recently. And if you flip down to 4-hour, we can see that we had a rejection candle here, a very sharp one, which signifies a possible reversal down, to the lower part of the range. That's the support level of the range. And I can go ahead again to flip down to 1-hour time frame, where I can draw a trend line right here and a second one. So we have price hit a monthly resistance, a monthly support on resistance, then we have a daily resistance, we have a 4-hour and a 1-hour rising wedge, all pointing towards a bearish movement on BTCUSD. And I can use my Fibonacci also on this. And I expect price already seemed to have opened below Fibonacci 23.6. So let's look at another possible entry, and that will be right below the current support level. So once price breaks below that level, then it will be a time to trigger a sell on this instrument. So I expect price to break out to Fibonacci 38.2, Fibonacci 50, Fibonacci 61.8, and possibly to Fibonacci 78.6. So by and large, I'm bearish biased on BTCUSD for this week. And also I want to look at CADJPY. Now this CADJPY on the weekly time frame, and we can clearly see that price hit a resistance level up there, and we have a valid support level down below. So CADJPY is actually in a range on the weekly time frame. And on the daily time frame, the last Friday candle closed as a rejection candle. As this candle, we have this a candle with a long shadow and a small body, a pin bar as it hits the weekly resistance level. And technically, this should lead to a bearish movement on CADJPY for this week. So I'm expecting a bearish movement. But then I'll flip down to 1 hour time frame so that I can look it at a much more closer level. And I can clearly draw my trend line here and draw a second one here. So the weekly time frame, we have a weekly resistance and support. So price hit the resistance recently, confirmed on the daily time frame with a pin bar, and on 1 hour with a rising wedge. Everything pointing to a bearish breakout on CADJPY. But then I also believe price could actually make its way up to hit that resistance again, at which point we may end up with a double top pattern, then a bearish breakout. But even if that doesn't happen, I just expect a bearish breakout. So either ways, I'm bearish biased on CADJPY. And using my Fibonacci, I can equally capture the movement with entry at Fibonacci 3.6 and running down to Fibonacci 61.8. And if the volatility is strong, it might get to 78.6. You can see that is just around the weekly support level. So I'm bearish biased on CADJPY for this week. And that's a 1 hour, that's a daily, and intraday trading. And finally, I'm looking at New Zealand CAD. Now, New Zealand CAD on the daily time frame, you can clearly see that price has been trending downwards, for quite a while. You can see a series of downward trend. Now, this couldn't join the trend line, because if we want to make it to join the trend line on one side, this is what that will look like, just to verify that it's a downward trend. Okay, so you can see we have a downward trend, downward trend, downward trend. Then here didn't touch off, but then it was still able to touch it right here. So we have an established downtrend on New Zealand CAD on the daily time frame. And on the 4 hour time frame, we have a pattern that looks very, very close to a possible head and shoulder pattern, which will lead to a bearish breakout. So we have a downtrend on daily, a head and shoulder on 4 hour, and we equally have a rising wedge on the 4 hour time frame. So all this is expected to lead to a bearish breakout on New Zealand CAD. Now, this is a swing trade, so it's expected to last, possibly the whole week or more than that. All right, so that's the end of my analysis this week. Like I said, the idea behind this weekly outlook is to give the trends on all these instruments for the course of the week. Now, if you have a personal trading strategy, you can use it to trade in line with this trend, and you can make a lot of profit in the market. Now, if you need personal mentorship, you can reach out to me. Just click the link below this video. You can send me a chat on WhatsApp or reach out to me on any of my social media handles in the About section of this channel. Once again, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, just click the subscribe button. Drop a comment on this analysis if you believe this analysis is right, or if you have any specific instrument you want me to analyze, you can indicate it in the comment section, and I will surely respond to you. Also, smash the notification bell so that when I drop another video, you'll be notified. All right, so I'll come again some other time very soon, bringing you profitable analysis in the Forex space. My name remains Rusi Malali. I'll see you again some other time. Bye for now.